Welcome back. Today on Real Reviews, we have a review of a laminator. This is a Vida Techo Laminator I picked up from Amazon. It's model number OL292. It's hot and cold, so you can either do hot or cold lamination. It goes from business card to A4 size, and it can be used with 3 mil up to 5 mil laminating pockets. So that's pretty cool. I really like this laminator. Let's go ahead and open it up and let's take a look what's inside the package. They really taped this thing well. Ooh, here we go. So we have some sheets right here. These are our laminating pouches. We have our laminator right here. Very nice. And what else we have here? Some more stuff there. So here we go. This is everything that comes inside of the package. You have your laminator. You have your product manual. This right here is actually a cleaning sheet. You actually run it through the laminator and it takes off excess glue that can be stuck on the rollers. And here are all your laminating pouches that they give you included with it. So first off, here is the laminator. As you can see, it has hot and cold settings. So you could usually just keep it in the middle unless you're ready to use it, and you would put it on hot. Obviously, you're going to use that, or cold if you're going to use it on cold. I believe this is a 9-inch width right here. And you have a cutter here on the top, which is pretty nice. If you want to cut your paper or your sheet before you put it in, you just kind of like put it inside here in the guide. And you can just run this across and cut it. And let's see what else we have. We have over here in the back. This is pretty neat because this actually makes corners. So if you have a sharp edge on the corner, you can actually make a nice little rounded corner right there. Just kind of clicks right there. We could try that out afterwards. This kind of just slips right back inside of this spot here, just like that. Has some little rubber feet on the bottom. These are really slippery though, so I don't think this really keeps it from sliding around too much. Not really. Doesn't really keep it from sliding around. They're not too rubberized. They're kind of like, I don't know. I can't really tell you what they feel like, but they're definitely kind of slippery. So over here on the back, we do have a release mechanism. So if your sheet gets stuck while you're laminating it, you can press this in at the same time as pulling your sheet, which I don't know how you're going to do that, because maybe if you hold it like this and then pull the sheet out, whichever direction. Just be aware, if you do get a sheet stuck in here, you will have to press this little lever and you will have to take the sheet out at the same time. So before we get started laminating anything, there is some important information in the manual that we're going to go over first. I guess we'll just start off with the warnings here. Now, some of these may seem obvious, but others may not. Like, for example, be sure you're going to keep foreign objects, gloves, body parts, clothing, hair, etc. away from the laminating openings. And that's very important because if you happen to get your hair stuck in a laminator, there is hot rollers in there that can definitely burn your hair or hurt you. If you have like loose clothing on, it could also potentially get stuck in those rollers. So be careful with your clothes when you're laminating. You always want to make sure you insert the sealed edge of the pouch first into the laminator, and I will show you that when we laminate. Also, be sure that the machine is in a suitable place or on a suitable table, because it can get hot and you want to make sure you're not burning or melting or damaging anything that you might like. When you're not using the machine, make sure that it's not plugged in. When you're using it, don't touch it because it's hot. Be careful not to laminate heat sensitive documents like tickets or maybe something that was printed on a thermal printer, because it will just ruin it. You also want to be sure not to insert any papers that have staples or paper clips or any other type of object stuck to them. And don't ever stick an empty pouch into the machine. Now, if you do smell a slight burning smell or some slight like plastic smell when you turn the laminator on, that is normal. That's just what it smells like. Now, warm up time for the laminator is about 2 minutes. It can do 3 mil or 5 mil pouches. Maximum lamination thickness is only 0.6 millimeters. So just be careful not to put anything that's too thick in there, because you could damage it. It does go from business card size all the way up to A4 for the pouches. It has 2 rollers in it to be sure you're getting a nice good lamination on your pouches. Weighs roughly about 3.5 pounds, and dimensions are 14.29 by 5.51 by 3.11 inches. If you plan on hot laminating and then cold laminating, just be sure to let the machine cool down for at least about a half an hour or so before you try using your cold pouches, or you're still going to damage whatever you're trying to protect. And I will have links to both cold and hot pouches in the description, just in case you want to get both or either. Once you're done laminating, you want to be sure to take your pouch out, put it down on a surface where it's able to cool. That helps to seal a little bit better. And if you're laminating for a long period of time, for example, over a half an hour, be sure to switch your laminator off for at least 15 minutes and allow it to cool down, or you could overheat it. Now for maintenance and cleaning, really all you need to know is you do have the little cleaning paper that you can run through the laminator, which I will also show you how to use in a few moments. And don't use any type of solvents or flammable materials when you're cleaning the laminator. Just wipe it down with a cool cloth once it's unplugged and cooled down. Preventing paper jams is pretty easy. Just be sure to insert pouches in the correct orientation with the closed end first. You want to make sure you're not putting them in at an angle. You also want to make sure that you're not putting something too small inside of the pouch. You don't have any curled or folded documents. You're not trying to stick a couple pouches together. Obviously, if you want to cut a pouch, you're going to cut it before you laminate and not after. Also, don't use any pouches that have been damaged and are not in good condition. And last but not least, the edge of the document can't go outside of the pouch. It has to be like a little border around the edge of your document, which I will also show you in just a moment. If you do have any problems with your laminator, just be sure to contact Vida Techo at their customer service email in the back of your manual under troubleshooting. So now that we have the manual out of the way, let's go ahead and get to laminating. First thing you want to do is get it plugged in. There we go, power it on. And now since the laminator is still off, you'll notice there's no lights on it. That's why I like to keep it in the middle. Now the first thing you're going to do, if you're going to be doing hot laminating, which is what we're going to do, we're going to press hot. You see the red light comes on, and as it heats up, it's going to turn to a green light. We'll just turn it here to the side so you guys are able to see as it goes through the laminator. So first things first, we're going to do is we are going to take the laminating pouch. This is what the pouch looks like. And the way that it is right here, you kind of open it up on one side. This is what it looks like. So this is the sealed end right here. So this is what they call the sealed end. And when you're putting it in, the sealed end needs to go in first. So you're not, damaging it or clogging up your machine or anything like that. And we are going to laminate real reviews. There you go. Please like and subscribe. So the way you do this, just open up your pouch. You're going to be just putting your paper in as centered as possible. And you want to have a nice border around it. This is probably the trickiest part of laminating, just getting your paper lined up where you want it. It's like right now the laminator does smell a little bit. It's like a plasticky burning type of smell. And that's just what this thing smells like. So here we go. Our paper is lined up. So we can see we have a nice border around it. So you want to make sure it does have this border and it's not sticking out past it. You're going to wait until this green light right here comes on. It takes roughly about, 2 minutes or so for the green light to come on. So that's for your full size sheet. And we also have a business card size we're going to be doing. And while we wait, we'll just show you this as well. This is the same exact type of thing. These little pouches are all the same. Now this is 5 mil versus this is only 3 mil. So it's a little bit thinner. See the thickness? This is a little bit thicker. Quite a bit thicker, the 5 mil. So basically for this, you're going to do a business card. You want to make like an ID or something. You want to make a ID for school or whatever it might be for your kid's school or something like that. Just do the same thing. Just center it in the pouch just like that. And there you go. You have that as well. So now what we're going to do, make sure you're putting it in the sealed end first. Green light is on. Just put it right here in the center. Just stick it in like that and you just let it go. Just pulls this way through. Don't touch it, don't pull it, don't do anything. Just allow it to go all the way through, all on its own. This takes, I forgot how many seconds this takes, but not long at all. And if it does get jammed, that's when you have to worry about this little lever over here. So now it doesn't really smell too bad, and it really shouldn't be smelling like it's burning too much or melting anything. But every single time I used the laminator so far, because this is my second one, I have 2 of these, it always smells like some type of like plastic. You can see right here, it's like really dull. And here it's coming out nice and shiny, really cool looking. Kind of just like to put my hand right here to keep it going straight. You really don't have to. I guess you could just, let it go and touch the table. It doesn't really matter. Looking nice. So on top here, this is hot right here on top. On the bottom, let's see if it's hot on the bottom. The bottom is cold. So I did have another laminator. It was actually a brand name laminator. And the bottom of it got really, really hot to where it would have probably burned my table. It made me concerned. So I returned it. So now that you have it in here, just go ahead and let it cool down. See both sides, it's laminated. So now if you do have a thicker laminating pouch like a 5 mil, you may want to run it through again. So like I ran it through this way the first time, let it cool down for a minute, and then you can run it through the opposite direction. This actually came out pretty good. Looks really, really good. Look at that. Nice. Comes out nice and laminated. This side is kind of a little bit curled. I probably should have tried to center it a little bit better because I have like almost no room over here and a lot of room here. So I could have centered it a little bit better and it would have came out better. But it still did come out cool, and it's really cool that it works that way. Even though I printed my paper wrong, but hey, that's how it works. And now we have our business card, same type of deal. Just put it in, make sure it's centered. Just stick it right in here, the laminator, straight in, and there you go. Let it go. couple seconds later, it's going to come out the other side. Now this one, I probably will flip it over and maybe try laminating it again. But I don't know, it might just do it the first time because this is from 3 to 5 mil. It actually came out really good the first time. I mean, it looks great. It completely sealed it. It is hot right now to the touch, but there you go. It's laminated. Pretty cool. Nice and laminated. So there's your business card. Here's your paper size. And let me get an actual piece of paper real quick just to show you the way that this cutter works. So for right now, let's go ahead and turn it off. And there we go. The lights are off. And before you put it away, obviously just let it cool down, you know, for about a half an hour before you want to put it away anywhere. And I will show you this as well. Pull this thing out from the bottom here. You want to cut your corners. So this for cutting corners. These sheets, they already come rounded, so there's really no point of cutting it. So just to show you the way that this cutter works on the top, what you want to do is you just take your piece of paper like this. You run it underneath the cutter, exactly where you want it. And it has like these little guides you can line it up with. You just take your cutter and just run it across. Boom. Pretty cool. And now if you want to take off edges, like the sharp edges, you just put it right here in this corner. Just like this, and it rounds your corners. Pretty cool. Stick it right there, the cutter. Make sure it's properly in there, 90 degrees. And just round your corners. Pretty cool. So it turns it from this to that. Nice little cool cutter right here. You know, once you cut a lot of stuff with this, you're going to just take this bottom piece off like this. And your little pieces are going to be, I don't know, mine disappeared, but yours, here they go right here. Your little pieces will be down in there just like that, little edge. So just take it off like that to clean it. That's it. And then you just put it away. Obviously, I'm touching it when it's hot, which I told you not to. But there you go. It's away. I love the way these laminators work. And I definitely recommend this one. It comes out really good. I don't know if you can see right here. There's not too many wrinkles. There's not too many, like, anything in it. It just looks really well. You can laminate your stuff and just keep it forever, just like this. Last but not least, I wanted to show you how to use the cleaning sheet that comes with your laminator. It's really simple. You just want to turn it on, the hot function here. You're going to wait until the green light comes on. Then you're going to take your sheet like this and run it through with the arrow facing inwards, just like that. This just cleans any residual glue off of the rollers. You want to probably run this. I usually run it when I'm done using the machine for each use, but you can run it whenever you feel like you may need it. And that's pretty much it. Just kicks it right out. You can reuse this as many times as you need to. Right now, it's really, really hot, so you don't want to put it back through again. So I do recommend cleaning it once you're done using the machine each time. So when you're done, just run it through like I just did, and that should help keep your rollers nice and clean so they don't ruin any of your nice documents that you're trying to laminate. So my final thoughts for the Vida Techo Laminator from Amazon. I really like it. I think it's a cool laminator. I think it will be great for most of your laminating purposes, for school or for the office, general purposes. If you're looking for professional lamination, then this is probably not going to be for you because it does have some little bit of, I don't know, distortion there. It's not completely perfect, but I think for most cases of home use and light office use, it's going to be good enough. Obviously, for professional lamination, you're going to spend a lot more money than the $25 or $30 that this machine costs. If you are interested in purchasing this machine, I will have a link in the description where you'll be able to get it from. I'll also link to the hot pouches and the cold pouches as well. If you would like to show your support, please be sure to use my links since anything you purchase does generate a small revenue for the channel. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell button so you never miss another video on Real Reviews. See you guys next time.